this is going to work very well. Looks like it's a little splotchy, but whatever, we'll deal with it. Okay. I'm going to do this one first because I got to do some connectors on it. Oh, I ain't got to do all that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing good. Hey, what's up, RB? I see you in there. Today is a long day coming. I've been doing a lot of stuff, and we've been working, guys. So I've got, I think, 4 additional packages that got shipped out today. We shipped out, I think it was 7 packages yesterday. I'm just now to the point where I'm like comfortable, not really comfortable, but comfortable somewhat, sitting down with you guys and hanging out while I'm working. Not for any other reason other than I just got to stay steady at it. I got to get busy working, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking out these videos. I know it's late, or at least in one part of the United States. I don't try to make videos this late, but I just kind of, it snowballs into that. I mean, like I said, I already shipped 4 packages today, so it's kind of how it goes. Let me know if the camera's doing pretty good or if it's glitching up or anything like that. It would be great to know. Just simply because I want you guys to be able to see what's going on. Alright, so that meter's good. Let's move you guys down over so you guys can see what's going on that one. And then let's bump this one over this direction, I think. Yeah, should be good. And I can move that out the way. Alright, so now, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7:30 p.m. in Hawaii. Yeah, I know, right? You guys are doing good over there. I miss Hawaii, man. That was I enjoyed it last year. I will not be back this year, but I will be back the following year. I'd love to be there this year, but I made some commitments that I was going to do something this year, and kind of regretting it. But hey, I don't really know what I regret until I experience it. So let's just do it. If I was a little bit more prepared for the event, I'd probably would feel a little bit better about it. But hey, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. What's up, Isla? We're working on some Bird 43 meters. I'm currently putting some connectors on this one because that's what this customer ordered. Also swapping them over to the new digital display. It's a steaming Coax display. I've made a couple videos on these so you guys can see what they are and what they do and all that good stuff. If you guys got questions about it, y'all feel free to ask. You guys will see how to move and how to modify a display today. Also, I've got some new battery packs that I've made some discussions with the founder of these, and it really turned out well. The new battery packs are in full swing now. All battery packs are still just fine, but there's just new refinements and new updates that come with the product as it comes out, especially if you get a chance to have one-on-one conversations with the builder. Technically you could, but we're not going to get into that discussion where I don't get flagged and stuff. So yes, there's always, you can create chain processes at home, but the danger is very, very risky. You'd have to find like all kinds of different isotopes and all kinds of other stuff. So yeah, there's the possibility, but it's highly dependent on somebody's knowledge. And then, of course, if you have the type of knowledge that it takes to put something like that together, you're probably not going to be putting it together at home. Now, you can know enough to get yourself hurt if you do it at home, so I'd probably recommend to kind of save that towards a more safe environment. So, whenever you're dealing with radioactive elements, somebody was asking if you could make your own reactor or something like that to be able to create your own power. Technically you could, but like I said, there's a lot of nuance to that, a lot of safety protocols that you want to put in line. They make mini reactors now that they're coming out with. The Department of Energy has released some notes on them, and they're like sodium, I think, reactors, but they have to be crazy high temperature in order for them to work. See ya, Isla. Have a good one. If you guys got any questions, you guys want to know anything, you guys give me a shout and have you know, feel free to message me on here. I do RF stuff all the time, but TikTok over there hanging out. I hope you guys are doing well over there. I'm gonna show you guys, like I said, we're pulling off the sample line off this bird meter right here. We're pulling the analog display out and putting a new steaming coax digital display in line. There's 2 screws over here. And is my battery dead? Nope. This is my old brushless drill. I love it, but it's always had a problem with the contact pins for some reason. I don't know why. That or the little controller that feeds it. That pulls the whole face out right there. So now we've pulled the analog movement out. You can see the movement moving around. If you guys want to buy those movements, I do sell them. Let's look at my little trusty book so I get this right. Okay. This customer is going to be pass-through power. So I got these lit up right now so you guys can see how they work. So that's how it sets up right there. This customer wanted me to go ahead and do something. I'll do it after we finish up and let you guys see what's going on. Of course, if I touch the leads on the back, I'll get it to show up some readings and stuff. But that's what she looks like. Let me, what's up, Harris? Hope you're doing well. Alright, so now, let's get to work. Just pop this in this display. If you guys would like to know stuff, you have questions, feel free to ask. Like I said, it doesn't hurt my feelings at all to kind of walk you guys through the RF world. It's a different world for most. Some people have never experienced anything to do with RF power. They have, they just don't know really. They got Wi-Fi at their house, they got cell phones, all that stuff is RF signal, but they just don't understand it because it's hidden behind names like 5G and your whatever, your 6E, Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 5E. All that is a type of RF radiation. And then other guys get scared of the term radiation. Radiation's not scary. Ionizing radiation is scary, but the radiation itself is not scary. Alright. Does it use a battery? This one does not. This customer ordered one without a battery. But these over here, yes, they do run a battery. A Samsung 3500 milliamp hour cell. Those are the ones that I sell. I sell them specifically with the Samsung cells because it's the best cell I can find. So those are the cells that I include with all my battery packs. Not every battery pack's going to have those, but those are the ones I will have. Is there a way to clear the max numbers without recycling power? Yes, there is a way to clear the max numbers. So if you want to clear max numbers, I think it's, yeah, stats reset. You push this button right here and hold it till it says stats reset. I don't know who the heck just did something, but thank you very much. I appreciate you. Where the heck is... Alright, so moving on. Somebody followed or liked or did something, but I can't see it no more. I need to pull up my new doc real quick. Recent events, is that what it is? Let's see if it shows me. That's incredibly frustrating. I don't know how to change the filter over. Super chats. Members. Nope, not members. I don't want to do super chats or none of that stuff. Like, shares, all that stuff. Follows, all that stuff's fine. I guess. Let's turn off the event filters. Yeah, I don't have a clue how to look at that stuff. I used to could see what everybody was doing. Like, whenever somebody liked something, whenever somebody... chats, stream information. No, it's not that. Let's just click chat. Nope, it's not that. Whatever. I can't figure it out. So whoever liked the live, whoever subscribed or followed, I do appreciate you guys. It does give me a notification. I used to could follow and see what happened, and it would send me a little notification, but now I have no clue, to be quite honest. I know, right? Don't you love that? How that works with 18650? It literally is just the dimensions of the cell. All right. So we're going to take a little bit of extra right here, and we're just going to stick all the extra down here. After wrapping this up a little bit smaller. This is standard RG58 cable. That's what this stuff comes with. I have upgraded the exterior cables up to some RG400. I have not done any interior cables, so if anybody wanted me to do those, I can, but it's really not necessary. Not at this short of a length. When you do the longer lengths, I like to do 400. It's just nicer. It's got a lower friction coefficient, so it can go through panels and slide and do all kinds of other stuff. Hey, thanks for sharing the live, Chuckster. Appreciate you, man. It is very much appreciated. Harris, there's plenty of people here, or at least not as many anymore. There was like 9 or 10 of them on YouTube a while ago. Looks like there's 4 or 5 on YouTube right now. All right, so not a ton everywhere, but it is what it is. I haven't been live in a while, so I don't really expect to have like this massive resurgence of people jumping back in my live. I do appreciate the guys that are hanging out, though. Thank you guys for checking out the video. It is appreciated for sure. So this is set up. I'm going to show you guys how to put some other meters together here in just a moment. Alright, this is already plugged in. It's already on the correct voltage, so we're good to go as far as that's concerned. We'll throw our back plate back on. I messed around and didn't put my backing piece back on real quick. Yeah, there we go. So there's some backing nuts on the original meter movement that you want to put back on. Not that it matters. Just depends on if you ever plan on selling it to somebody. It'd be nice to have the little nuts to put back on it. Molly cell. Yeah, the molly cells are fine. Hey, John, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate you. My issue with some of the vape cells is they're designed for high C discharge rate. I just need a long-lasting, very well-known battery. But I do know some guys who like the molly cells for sure. I guess that's what you call them. Trying to call China, I know, right? You guys haven't seen some of my new test equipment, so I guess I'll pan the camera around, let you guys see what's going on over here. Half of it's turned off at the moment. So we got a new VNA. We got another a signal generator. We got, of course, our main communications test set with spectrum analyzer and signal generator and audio analyzer and all kinds of cool stuff. So this one, of course, requires to have pass-through power. So what we're going to do is just snag a little power cord somewhere. I thought there was one right here. Yeah, there is one right here. And we'll just plug her in right over here and turn the unit on. This customer also ordered an additional piece of equipment, which is this right here. So this is a 1,000-watt element. So I need to do a quick test on my dummy load over here. So I guess we'll pan around, let you guys see what's going on. Some of the test equipment over here. So you can see some of the equipment there. I still haven't filled that hole back up. I've got, I guess I can turn that one on too. It's another Sightmaster up there and Ritsu. Got some HF equipment back there. There's the signal generator. Another transmitter test set, VNA, another VNA. We can go over to this side. We see another transmitter tester. We see another communications test set, Apache Labs Anon, a mini circuits amplifier, another VNA. So yeah, we got some other pieces of equipment over here. Some more watt meters over here. So I could turn this one on if I needed to. And then of course I got this one in line. And then we are going to plug a sample up here. So now, measure, nope, element. Use that element right there. So now, all right. If I can find this thing, tight, this is no problem. So now I'll check with another element real quick. I've got another one over here somewhere. Set that element. I'm just checking this element real quick, guys. So if you guys wanted to know how to rating, eight. Oh, hang on. I gotta go back to the other element. Element. There we go. That. Now let's go ahead and check one more. Very happy with that so far. No real complaints. This right here. Now you can do what's called an element de-embed. If you ever get an element that's far enough off, you can do a full de-embed of each element. So that's another cool feature of these meters. I'm currently trying to just get this one out the door, to be honest. Not for any other reason other than that. Alright. Yes. Alright. I'll show you how to do some stuff over here. Now, if you want to set an element, let me boop this camera back in the right spot. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Let me move the other camera for you guys on Facebook and YouTube to see. Sorry. So Facebook and YouTube. So this is going to be pretty awful, but it is what it is. All right. So you see some test equipment there. Those are watt meters right there. More watt meters up higher. More watt meters. More watt meters. More watt meters. Then we get into the HF equipment up that way. They're extremely hard to see because of this angle. That up top is the signal generator. Then that's the transmitter tester next. There's the VNA, the next VNA down there. We rotate over here. We get another VNA up top, the RF power amplifier, a Apache Labs Anon, then another communications test set, and then, of course, another transmitter tester up underneath behind that equipment over there. So back to work over here. Let you guys see what's going on. I had to be fair, let these guys hang out and see too. So if you want to set an element, right? We go into the menu, we click element right here. We select this right here. We go to rating. Depends on what scale we want to use on what element we have. So we have a 1,000 watt element, a 10 watt element, or a 100 watt element. All of these are going to be on the 1 scale. If we have a 5 watt element or a 50 watt element right here, or whatever else, I don't know, any other elements that I may have, you'll be on the up to the 5 scale right here. So 5 scale right there, we'll go 500, 5,000, 50 watt, 5 watt, right? So we go back, we go to the 1 scale, we have 100, we have 1 watt, 100 milliwatts, 10 milliwatts, 10 watts, 100 watts, 1,000 watts, 10,000 watts, 100,000 watts. Then we want to use some oddball elements, right? So we want to go grab this random weird scale, right? This is a 60 kW element. It's very rarely used. It's for very specific meter movements and elements. But because of the versatility of this meter, I can go to the 6 scale right here, and I can go up to 60 kW and actually measure it with this movement. It's a 100 UA movement, so I'll change it to 100 microamperes, and that's how it sets up. So let's go back to what needs to be set up, which is the 1,000 watt slug, and we will set up that element. So I have 1 scale, we go up to 1 kW, we select to use because we just want to use it right away. Our microamp size is 30 microamp, we set that. If we wanted to go into our de-embed and wanted to do some testing and things like that on each element before it ever left my shop, I could go into a full de-embed, which would take quite a bit more time and would cost some more money. But I will get into de-embeds in the future. I'm just not able to right now. I've got too much stuff going on. So now we have a 1 kW element. We're 30 microampere, and it is ready to measure. So we have a bunch of other 100 watt set. That's just the factory default element. There's 7 other elements we can select. There's 8 total to work with, and that's how that was set up. Let's see if I can zoom for you guys a little bit. So see if it lets me over here. So bump this over real quick so you guys can see a little bit closer. And let's zoom in right here so you guys can see a little bit closer. Yeah, that's better. And a little bit closer for you guys. All right. Not perfect, but this is the best I can give you for now. Hey, Big E, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Hot Rod, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you very much. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. So now, we're going back off of that. We've set it to a 1,000 watt element. If we ever want to measure more than 1,000 watts, we go over to measure on the scale and we check our range. It currently will measure 2 times its normal scale, so it will measure between 10 watts on the low end of the scale all the way up to 2,000 watts on the high end of the scale. If I want to increase that, I move up to the 4x scale, I select that for my measurement, and now it will measure up to 4,000 watts. So from 10 watts all the way up to 4,000. So very cool, has some really cool features for all that stuff, so that's pretty neat. So that is now set and is now working. So from here, if I want to save it, I want to save my config, but I want to change my supply over to direct since this is a direct powered unit, and then we're going to go ahead and save that config. Then we look back over here and it shows us our voltage instead of a battery power, because we're currently, as soon as we unplug it, we will lose all power to this unit. It is externally powered. It is not internally powered. The other units that are sitting right here are internally powered. They have not been hooked up to anything and they currently work that way. So that's how that sets up. That's how it works. This customer wanted that set on his meter. Let me take a look real quick and confirm. His order is right. Where is his order? Right here? Yeah, this is his order. Scroll down. He wants to add 2 SO239s. He wants a 1,000 watt slug. And he wants me to input the 1,000 watt slug in the meter. So he is currently complete. His job is done. It's all set up right here. His element has been verified and is working properly. So now, moving on to the next, we'll go into the other equipment from here. So I'll set this out of the way. We've got 2 more meters to do, and you guys can see how they work. All right. So these are going to be a little bit different. They're going to stick with N-type connectors on these. I've got to change over to a flathead now that I see that. Not that it really matters to do too much. Let's detect this. Okay, hang on. Let's take a look and see what you just said right there. It'd be cool if they found a way to add an extra contacts reliably to the slug meter could auto detect the slug. So there is absolutely no. It's an AL1200 is what it is. There is absolutely some things for like years in the future, not right now, but some things that can be done years in the future that may be able to do something along those lines. I don't know for sure. I can give some suggestions, so I do appreciate the feedback, but there's a possibility. But it'll be a while though for any of that stuff to come out, and it'll be a new kind of market, to be honest. So it'd be pretty interesting. Hey, John, I think I already told you thanks for the follow, but I do appreciate it for sure. User shared my live. Thank you very much. Somebody at Fire shared my live earlier. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. So I appreciate all you guys doing that. If you guys don't mind, if you want to tap the screen, it would be very helpful, because then TikTok will now suggest my videos to more people, because apparently 1 like is not enough. They want you to tap it a bunch of times. Whatever. It's the life we live in now. They want constant feedback. YouTube and Facebook, you guys don't have to tap it so much. I do appreciate you guys' single tap. Yeah, it is where I'm looking for some, oh, I know where I put it. I actually cleaned up just the other day, and I need this back. So I got to get some flatheads real quick. They're in this drawer right here. Oh, where's my drawer? Flathead's going to be right here. Maybe that's the right size. We'll see. I'll be coming back for another one if that's not. Let's just grab 2 of them. I love how you guys can hear me the whole way, because I hooked up my, I think you call them, I can't remember what you call them now. There's a specific name for them. But these little clip-on microphones work pretty well. Hey, thanks guys. Appreciate y'all tapping the screen. It is absolutely appreciated. What's that thing? This is a digitally modified watt meter. So it was previously analog, and we just converted it to digital. All right, I don't think I'm going to use a flathead on the drill on this, because it's just entirely too much. That thing will kick out like no tomorrow. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy little stubby set right here, and we're going to use it instead, because I don't feel like this thing kicking out on me. Questions? Any more questions? Don't mind. I'm absolutely up for trying to help you guys. Don't like there's a whole lot of activity on Facebook and YouTube, so I will try to answer. If you guys have some more questions on TikTok, feel free to ask. What this stuff is commonly used in is anything to do with RF communication. So you could use this to measure power in an aircraft. You could use this to measure power on your Wi-Fi router at your house. If you tied it in line with your SMA connector, you could use it to measure power on an old CB radio. You could use it to measure power on an HF radio. You could use it to measure power at AM or FM radio station. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. You can use it to measure power. Realistically, you could use it to measure power in an MRI machine. So there's all kinds of stuff you could do. So we're currently just taking this back plate off to convert these meters over to a digital display. The digital display is going to be a steaming coax display in the Bird 43s. So we will turn this into essentially a digital Bird 43. Of course, aftermarket meter considered. I did look into some of my statements that I was saying in the past, and it might have been kind of confusing to some guys, and I don't want to confuse nobody. So it is, of course, an aftermarket display, which most people can tell by the name on the front of it, but I need to make sure that's clear with everybody. Very cool aftermarket display, though. I love it. It does a lot of cool stuff for us. Where did I get it? I am an RF supply company, so I sell these components. So this is what I do for a business. I sell RF components, whether it be RF tubes, whether it be tower sections, whether it be high voltage capacitors. I've built high voltage harnesses for I don't know, all sorts of data collection, stuff like that, stuff for universities and stuff. I've got some stuff out for some prototyping stuff for a company out of Australia that they're coming to the U.S. I've got some high voltage stuff out to them. Quoted some stuff to South America for a mining operation, but they didn't. I don't think I beat the quote. What about to mail half-inch Heliax Superflex? What's the smallest you would roll it to mail? You could mail it pretty small, to be honest. Let's say I got some half-inch, right? Let's grab a piece. Now, obviously, do this at your own discretion. You are responsible for your own coax. But I got a piece of half-inch flex right here. I can give you an idea of what I would do if I had an opportunity to roll it up myself. So, of course, here's a larger spool. Let's zoom out real quick on this camera, just for a moment. Maybe you guys won't get too bad at me for this. Zoom, 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 zoom. All right, there we go. And zoom out on this one real quick. So if we wanted to wrap up this spool right here, we would just start physically something along the lines of about that right there. That's about as small as I'd go with 1/2 inch flex. So to give you an idea, that's what you can go down to. 1/2 inch flex is very flexible. So I would be comfortable with wrapping it up for shipping that small. Now, of course, be careful with your terminations because the strength of the cable goes down whenever you have a hard bend or a hard edge on it like that. So do keep that in mind when you're shipping something. All right. So now typically I don't ship them and stuff like that, but there's definitely reasons I don't. Let's zoom back in. Zoom, 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 zoom. All right, that works for me. Let's zoom back in over here. And you guys can see what I'm going to be doing. Now, there it is. If you guys would like to know more about RF equipment or anything to do with what I'm building and stuff like that, feel free to ask. Those questions do help me answer for you guys. Yeah, I entered at a radio station 25 years ago and used a bird watt meter on 25 kW FM transmitter. Yes, I actually have an FM20B as a parts transmitter out back for parts. So yes, I'm familiar. I have those same tubes that they run. I have a lot of those test equipment. A lot of that test. Excuse me, not a lot of the test equipment. A lot of the components inside. I literally had a functioning transmitter that I used as parts. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man, for sure. I'm a pretty big fan. I am building a custom console here pretty soon. It will be a little bit before I can finish because I've got some other prototypes in the works. Some new stuff that I'm going to be releasing. But as soon as I finish with that, I've got a order out right now for a custom console that's going to be pretty cool. So as soon as that custom console comes in, we can start having some discussions about it. I remember why this battery. This is a very nice drill. I love it. It's one of my first brushless drills I got from Ryobi. A lot of people think of Ryobi as the cheap stuff, and Ryobi's actually. I've got a bunch of Ryobi stuff, a bunch, like all kinds of rare and random, not rare, but lots of random stuff. I got a bug zapper from Ryobi. That one's always had a weird contact issue on the end of the, what are you doing, buddy? Let go. There's a foam on the front right there. I had to pull the foam off. So everything's been put back together. This display can go down here. If anybody is interested in picking up some of these old analog movements, I do sell them. They're on my website, so you are welcome to purchase them. Now, I'll show you how this goes in. It is a very tight fit whenever it goes in, but once it goes in, it fits in pretty nicely. I have no real complaints about the fitment of these things. I've been very pleased with what I've dealt with, at least. Now, somebody else may say, "Oh, it's not perfect," blah blah blah, but it's extremely good for fitment, in my opinion. Continental, it's been years. I've got some Continentals. I think I've got a Continental parts. I think I got maybe a Gates parts. I've got some old 811H tubes in parts. All kinds of stuff. Alrighty then. Now, what do you guys have a preference? What do you guys say? We have an option. We can put a power cord out the left-hand side or the right-hand side. What do you guys prefer? Give me some feedback. What do you guys think? Let's zoom out just a smidge on that. It's a little close. I don't mind you guys being that close, but I don't think you guys like being that close. Yeah, Collins is pretty cool. They're well-made transmitters. All right, we got a vote. Left side or right side? We got one right-hand side vote. Anybody else got votes? Your vote counts. There is several of you guys in here. We got one person voting so far. So we got to hear what everybody else has to say. So we want the power out the left or the right. We got one vote for the right. If you guys say it quick enough, then we will let the other guys If we have 2 votes for the for the left-hand side, then I will override what I'm doing right now, and we will go to the other side. Majority rules here, guys. Now, I did come up with some discussions with the creator of these units about doing some modifications. We got 2 lefts. Oh, sorry. Power out the left. You can't vote twice. Technically 1 right and 1 left, but that's all right. I'll go for a left one. All right. What's up, Deuce? Hope you're doing well, man. All right. But there may be some updates to these designs here in the near future. I don't know how quickly they will get rolled out, but definitely all that stuff is in the works. Very, very proactive on the design and operation of these. I've gotten several of the revisions named after me just because I'm constantly trying to make it a better product. All right, so now the RF tap is going to be internal on this one. This will not be an externally RF powered meter. So it will have a built-in line section, a built-in power measurement operation, the way it's set up. Now, I do have external line sections for all different sizes, but just so you can understand, this is your regular Bird 43 platform, is what this sets up on. This meter is capable of reading much larger. So this is your Bird 43 line section right here. I've got an in-between, there it is right there. I knew it's hiding from me. This is your 1 5/8" line section right here. Just a little bit larger, nothing crazy. Right, what do you guys think? A little bit bigger? So then, I've got the... I gotta move this out the way. Next size up from there. And then... I've got the next size up from there. So these are all different size line sections. This is the 7/8" line section right here. This is your 1 5/8". This is your 3 1/8", and this is your 4 1/16" line sections. So, got several of these. Put these over here for now, so they're out of my hair. But yeah, all those line sections give this meter the capability of reading much larger. So, just to give you an idea, let's say I used one of those larger line sections. One of the largest line sections out there has the capability of going to let's go ahead and set it. We can go to our rating, and it goes up to 2.5, and it reads 250 kW. So the largest line section would be a 250 kW line section that I've ever seen, at least. There may be a larger one made, or it can be custom ordered. This meter can read up to 4x scale, so it can read up to 1,000,000 watts, whether it be average or peak. Theoretically, if you could get a manufacturer to build you one, you could change your rating up here, and you can go up to your highest rating, which is a 9.5 rating right here, and we can go up to 950 kW. Then, again, same time, this meter is capable of reading up to 4x scale, so that's 3.8 megawatts. So 3.8 million watts in average or peak is what the thing is capable of. I've had some guys ask me, what can this meter read up to? Theoretically, up to 3.8 million watts. In actuality, 1 million watts. In most people's actions, like a Bird 43, it can read up to a 10,000 watt element, and then you can kind of get into a situation. It will do up to a 4 times scale. So you can go over here to range right here. You got 2 times and you got 4 times. So you can double it or quadruple it. So then if I haven't saved anything, I just turn it off, turn it back on, and it's back to the regular setting. If you've made that mistake and you want to set an element, you can go in here to element, and we set an element, whatever element it is. We set, say, a 5,000 watt element, right? We go right here, set for 5 kW, we select use. If I want to save that element, I go down over here to the save setting right here. Click save, and I click yes. Config is saved. Now, every time I turn the unit off, turn the unit back on, we now still have it saved. Love the range, but not the fan of digital meters. Yeah, it's kind of a thing to get used to be honest. There is kind of I think it's a little gimmicky, but I've seen some guys use it for sure. But take this out right here. If you do not like a digital display, we can go right here. Now we have a analog display in digital. So now we have a 5 kilowatt on the top end of the scale. We're reading in 2x mode, so 10 kilowatt over here, 5 kilowatt right here, and then so on and so forth. So you could actually measure an analog display on the digital meter. So it's something fun. Now, personally, I won't do that. I like the whole idea of the digital. It works well. It does a good job, especially for input reflect. So it's pretty nice. Does a good job. Yeah, it does a mimic an analog. All right, so let's get back to finishing putting this back together. And then we've discussed a couple things there. I think I might have to input some more elements on this. I'll have to look and see what the notes say. Let me see how many elements we got. Where's my correct mouse? I got two computers over here and I gotta look. So let's scroll down, see what we got. Yep, we got element number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have 8 elements we're going to be putting in on both of these meters. So that'll be pretty neat for you guys to be able to see. I'm going to be filling up all 8 of these elements positions with a populated element size. Yeah, I think this is going to be all right. So now, get that over there. Let's grab this right here. Pull this off. So you guys will see me populating 16 different elements. Yeah, for sure. You can definitely get into the needle movement stuff. I have no problems with that. I don't really have a complaint. I sell both. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I've got probably, I don't know, at least 20 or 30 bird movements, and then probably, I don't know, a bunch of other bird meters just all around that I'm willing to sell just analog as is. There's an aftermarket peak kit you can put in line, or there's the original bird peak kit you can put in line. I sell those also, and I do the aftermarket or the original bird. Opposite sides of Georgia. Cars will meet Tallapoosa, Georgia on the Alabama line. Cool. I know plenty of guys over that way, for sure. My RF supply is mainly a ship-out location. I wish I had more of a storefront, but if you guys saw my shop, you guys would you'd disown me. My shop is a mess. I've got so much equipment. I do not have a place to put it all, and I'm not being smarlicky. I really have 2 trailer loads full of stuff that I don't have a place for right now. If I organize my shop, clean it up, then I will absolutely have more space, but it still won't be enough. It's unfortunate, but it's a fact of life. Once you start getting enough equipment, then it kind of, you just put yourself in that kind of scenario. I would rather have the equipment than the space, so I am not complaining. It's just what happens. I have a 25 by 50 concreted shop. Then I have another 15 by 25, I think 15 by 20 or 15 by 25. I think it's 15 by 25 concreted area. And then another, what is that, 15 by 25? And that means 40, that means 25 by 25 area. I think, something like that. Either 20 by 25 or 25 by 25, I don't know. That is not concreted. So I have another area I got concrete, but that area is already full too. So we are going to have to do something about space here pretty soon. I've got RON 25, I got RON 45, and RON 55 tower. Yes, it is a completely separate company, just so you guys can follow. That's not related at all. My RF supply is a separate business. A lot of people get a little confused just because of me. But my RF supply is something I've run on my own. I don't talk about any of my other businesses really on here, just because I mean, who knows? I don't know how many businesses I'll end up having eventually. But it's just something I don't mix too much. If somebody needed some equipment, I can tell people where to find the equipment and stuff like that. But I don't. My RF supply is a standalone entity. All right, so this one is all done, all put together. We said meter out the left side, so we did that. So we'll line this up. Well, wrong screws right here. We got these screws right over here. These are Phillips head. We'll screw these in. Coax and what you would recommend for what I'm doing. Yeah, for sure. You can message me anytime. I can let you know what kind of coax and stuff like that I can set you up with. I fix some amps, mostly design and build antennas. Cool. Go for it, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. What's up, 447? Waving a hand, man. Hope you're doing well. Alright, so rotate this around. Keep on going. Yeah, copy that, man, for sure. Yeah, I don't talk about it much on here just because, like I said, it's just one of those things. A lot of people, some people get preconceptions about stuff whenever I mention other companies, and it's not something I want to do with my RF supply. I don't want to lock myself down into a box. It's not something that I'm ashamed of in any way. It's just something I don't want to. I don't want to let it kind of develop like I said, misconceptions. I've got a bunch of different guys from all areas of the community. I got tower climbers, I got HF guys, I got regular guys, I've got all kinds of guys that I deal with in this community that's different than what I deal with through my other business. Alright, so we'll set elements. First element is going to be a 50 watt element. So we'll change our rating to a 5. We'll go down to a 50 watt. We will select, we don't even have to do that. So we can go to the next one. We'll set our rating right here. This is how easy this is. That was already 100. Next one is a 250. We just go right here. We set our rating. We go up to 2.5. You don't have to select use on them. You just, all you have to do is just put it in. Next one, he wants a 500 watt element. We go to our rating. We move up to 5. And you guys see? Yeah, you guys can see 500. Next one we want to go down to, he wants a 1000 watt. So we go to our rating. We go to our 1. We move up to 1000. Next one, we go to our rating. I think he wants I'm pretty sure I can follow what he's doing from here. 2.5 kW. Next one, go to our rating, move up to 5, move to 5 kW. And next one, we go to our rating. Their default rating is going to be for a 30 microampere meter, so you do not have to set the microampere each single time, every single time. Now I'm going to go down here to save, and I'll save config. Now I'll look through my elements. Element number 1 is a 50 watt, 100 watt, 250, 500, 1000, 2500, 5000, and 10,000. So he has every element selection on this meter right here. I'm 70 years old, so you don't climb much? Yeah, that can definitely get you for sure. Copy the old tower guy, man, for sure. I have a bunch of commercial tower right now. I have RON 25, 45, and 55, and then I have a 100-foot crane cup. And I forgot what else I got. I got a bunch of stuff. All right, so you can see all the different elements. We go back to look at the number. That's the element number. There's no rhyme or reason to that. It's just 1 through 8 is what positions you get. If you want to manually select them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The way I'm doing it's the quicker way is I'm holding down the enter button right here, and I'm pushing up and down, and that's the way you can go through it quicker. Somebody was asking about this max setting. Whenever this max setting is set off, what happens is it'll jump up and it stays on that number, and people don't know how to clear it. If you want to clear the max setting, you push the button and hold it, and it'll say stats reset. That is also used for the interlock if you put it in line, and a bunch of other things. This meter also has the capability to go to an interlock system. If you use this meter for a reflect only meter, what you can do is once it goes to a certain power that's coming, a certain amount of power that's coming back, you can set it to disable the actual pass-through power of an interlock, which would be tied to something like a foot pedal that I'm keying down there. Your next setting from there is going to be that you have a max power readout. You can also have it if it drops below a certain power threshold. You can also disable the set it to interlock and disable the keying option. So there's all kinds of cool stuff. RON 25G, I can't remember. It's either $80 or $90. I'd have to double check. I really need to look at my prices before I start saying this online. But yeah, I'd have to look. Yeah, man, it's wild for sure. Okay, so this one's all set. Every meter is set. We want to push down to go to PEP. We want to push down again to go to average. We also have minimum. We have maximum. We have our deviation, so we can see what kind of deviation we have from max to minimum all in one. We have instantaneous right there to read instant. And then we go back to average. It rotates all the way around back to the beginning right there. And then, of course, back to the PEP right there. So push down to stay in average mode. That's the default mode it runs on. So all the stuff is saved, but I'm going to be extra safe and save it again. So, because it's not like it takes a long time, but that's 8 different elements I have to put in there. All right, this one's all good and done. Let's do the next one, and let's get to work on it. So that'll be 3 buried meters done today, and then I've got to get a another piece of coax done after this, and then I should be I don't know, nearing completion with my day. I'm doing pretty good. I've done several all-night, not several, but at least a few all-nighters just to be able to get caught up, because I was getting behind from being sick, and I just could not get myself back in a normal schedule. It was awful. But that, along with working a little bit of extra, I normally work Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Those are my days that I do my RF supply. And I kind of moved it on and added Friday and Saturday in there. Station engineer as a team was a fun time, though. I missed them days. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man, for sure. I've spoken to quite a few station engineers over the years, for sure. Works on these tower sites and stuff. Typically the ones that are maintaining the equipment, doing things like that. So some of the RF engineers that actually maintain the site, they'll get called out if there's a fault and stuff like that. Not necessarily the guys that are just running the site, but the guys that are repairing the site when it faults out. I've spoken to quite a few of those guys over the years. Always a pleasure to speak with them. It's pretty cool to see the different insight and the different areas that people are in. Like I said, you're a tower climber. We have a tower climber in here. I didn't see exactly which one was doing it. But I've spoken to another guy who's a tower climber currently. It's pretty cool. I like to see all different guys hop in here and hang out, for sure. I had Italy messaging me last night telling me good job. So it's pretty cool to see how far this stuff goes. I've shipped to New Zealand. I've shipped to Australia. I've given quotes to a lot of places in the EU and the UK also. I haven't shipped anywhere over there, I don't think. No, I shipped to Scotland. I shipped a shirt to Scotland the other day, but I've gotten a bunch of quotes out to a lot of those guys over there. All right, so now let's go ahead and put this booger in here. We are just going to mimic exactly what we did. This is a double meter order for this customer right here. Him and his buddy decided to go in together and order the same thing, which is fine. I have absolutely no problems with that. You and your buddy can definitely buy these, and I will absolutely match them up. Alright, so covers all that. Now I need to go into here. Where's my drill at? No, I can't use the drill. It's all flatheads here. This is the slow operation here. We gotta use that old school flathead. Always meant, hang on. Yeah, copy the fault finding. Interning with the station engineer as a team was fun. Missed them days. Yes, made my trips to go fault find. Yeah, I know, right? I always stop at Subway for food on the way back. Back when they did the... nice. Copy that for sure, man. It's pretty cool here. And like I said about the history of that, I did a decom the other day, and I really wish I would have did a video. I really regret not doing it. I had a whole radio station that I did a decom on. Hey, Hendy. Well, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I have the audio equipment consoles. I've got a Or-band Optimod for FM, Or-band Optimod for AM. I've got FM station monitor, an AM station monitor. I've got all kinds of stuff. A bunch of old stereo stuff. I got CD player that allows you to put tracks on. I got a foam patch in.